Yeah,
No, that's how my voice sounded either.
your voice sounds good.
It's playing the intro right fast.
I'm about to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs.
It's been a whole month.
The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs.
Really? Good thing, right?
All right, welcome to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. Edmont International is here today, folks. Yes. We got Tonya Lindsey in the house. We got Mr. Daniels. We got Mr.
Edgar.
Edgar. I knew I was
Montenegro.
gonna get one. And we got my buddy Mike. Let's just kind of go around the table before I show a clip of this movie, The Fire of the Dragon. Just tell everybody what you guys do.
We do. I play the Grand Master in the movie. I'm trying to teach Edgar along the way on how to focus his anger and rage. So I try to do that through a more delicate way and put some balance in his life. So that's what I'm doing.
First of all, thank you for
Oh, no
this
problem.
interview.
Well, it was nice
you
meeting everybody at
know.
the casting calls.
Very
Thank you
nice
very
to meet
much.
you.
Yeah.
And yeah, my name is Edgar Montenegro. I'm the owner of the company Edmont International Production, a company that is working with movies. It's creating movies about awareness, like, bullying, human trafficking. And that is what we are going to be working with this movie called The Fire of the Dragon. It's a movie about a true story about human trafficking.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm Christopher Daniels. I'll be directing this. I'm doing some writing on it as well. And also my company Team Focus is partnering with Edmont Entertainment to actually pull this off on the United States side
Right.
as we get to the packaging of everything.
And real fast, for the audience out there, this is kind of a joint thing. This is from Columbia, the country Columbia, not Columbia, Missouri, folks.
Right.
Yeah, and then
That's it.
also working in St. Louis with Mr. Daniels. So
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name's Tonya Lindsey. My role in the film, The Fire of a Dragon, I am executive producer. Very honored to have been given this opportunity to help Edgar and be a part of this team to bring this truly dynamic story of someone that was a victim of human trafficking. Happened in the country of Colombia. We're bringing it to America, and just so thankful for our director and everyone that has been a part of this to help bring this story to a finish. So we are also campaigning against the horrible crime of human trafficking. So we're using this story, bringing it into a campaign. We're doing an amazing fundraiser. It's coming up this Tuesday, May 10th at the Florissant Civic Center in Florissant, Missouri at 6 p.m. We just encourage everyone, if you've got the time, to come out. You'll be able to see all of the other projects that Chris has been doing with Team Focus Productions. We're super excited. You'll get to see some more of those projects and then our project. And we just encourage everyone to be a part of this as we are going to be finishing this film this year. And then once it's finished, we're going to wrap it up and then show it hopefully to the world. So we're excited. Thank you, Matt, for having us today.
no problem. Well, I'm gonna play a clip of the
very
movie
much.
that you sent over, and so the audience can kind of see, and then we'll kind of go into the original, like how you guys all came together and on this project.
Sounds good.
So if you want to kind of cue up this clip here.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody? Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so this clip is basically the opening scene for the film. It's basically setting the stage of where it's going.
Okay.
Of course, we'll talk more about the story, but this is basically, give you an idea of how we're starting this thing off. So.
adentro escuché unos ruidos muy extraños.
Pero ¿cómo vamos a entrar en una casa? ¿Cómo vamos a estar mirando por el... Vamos, vamos. No se puede entrar. Pero mujer, ¿cómo se te ocurre? Ven. Es que no se puede hacer. Pero, ¿cómo se te ocurre? Es que a mí estas cosas a mí no me gustan, hacer estas cosas así tan malas. Me parece una convénzase. ¿Qué es lo que yo le tengo que hacer? Cosa, hay como un niño ahí. No puede ser.
¿Sí ves?
Ay,
Vamos,
no puede
vamos
ser.
a buscar
¿Qué es esto tan horrible? No puede ser. No, déjame un momento. No puede ser. Pero ¿cómo puede estar un niño así amarrado, cortado allí dentro de una casa?
Hagamos
Pero si nosotros estamos caminando siempre todo esto y nunca habíamos dado cuenta. Como si estuviéramos ciegos.
sí.
¡Qué barbaridad!
Vamos.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Nos vamos entonces?
Sí, avisémosle a alguien.
Vamos. No, si no podemos estar viviendo.
Come on. Mama's gonna be okay. Come on.
Vamos, le
Come on, boy. We're here to help you. We're here to help you. We're here to help you. And...
¡Diablo!
That's it.
Wow, what a powerful opening right there. I wish I could see the rest of the movie. I want to, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, and because it's a good story. We talk about it, but I mean, it's a it's a story between Colombia and St. Louis, but it's also about a young child dealing with insurmountable tragedy, who becomes a man that's successful and triumphant in everything he does, and basically his story from that struggle, that stuff as a child to becoming the man that he is today. So,
and is that based off your life story here? Is this
no,
because it's off a true story?
It's
based on a true story.
Based on a true story.
It's based on a true story. Yes.
And then, so how did the whole idea originate? How did this all like?
I very close to the people who really happen this, and they don't want to say who they are until the movie is done, and later is going to be an interview with the person who really the true story was. So everybody who want to know who the person was, the real person, had to watch the movie. And it's going to be at the end of the movie, it's going to be an interview with that person. But it's not.
Yeah, and not only that, but I mean, we're dealing with the human trafficking side of things.
Yes.
Right.
So you can imagine this kind of story, somebody might be like, okay, we need to shut this down. We need to figure out what's going on, because some stuff, like you start diving into the human trafficking aspect. You start diving into a lot of stuff. There's a lot of leaders that deals with this kind of stuff. So.
And I was reading up on human trafficking today. There's a lot of different types of human trafficking.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of myths out there that, there's people that are strangers. It could be somebody that you know. It's all kinds of things. That we can go into those details.
And St. Louis is like still one of the top 5 in the country.
I heard that. Yeah, I read that too.
And it does. It's like some. Well, he'll tell you about it, but some of the human trafficking is, parents selling their kids for drugs.
Right.
It's so many different levels to this, but yeah.
And the same thing in Colombia. In Colombia is more, because in Colombia is a country with poor people, and over there is every single day. Right now you see on Facebook, we are looking for this girl, we are looking for this man. And what human trafficking is now only sexual. Human trafficking is overworking. Many people from Colombia, they are taken to Dubai, and they take the passport and make them to work like animals. Other people, like young guys, they go and they say, you can be model in other countries. What they do, because they cannot be a prostitute, they kill them and they take the organ and sell to people who need it. That is why, and this is like so for me, like I'm working, my company, Edmont International Production, is start his campaign, its campaign and against human trafficking, because in Colombia every 5 seconds somebody is dying because of human trafficking. Excuse me, right. Because this is hard, and this is a topic that I am fighting and I get excited about, because I had to fight against human trafficking, because I know how hard it is. It's not only for the person who suffered the human trafficking, but for the family, for the friends. And sometimes it's now the first generation go to the second one, continue this suffering. Families are suffering every single day. So, and human trafficking is not only in Colombia. Chris say it's in St. Louis, it's in Africa, it's in every country, in every continent.
Yeah, I mean, just recently, I guess maybe a little bit less than a year ago. Yeah, there was a African American young boy, who was missing, and he was found with his organs missing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, and that's not overseas. That's not.
Yeah, well, they just had
somewhere. That's local.
News stories in St. Charles last week. They busted a group for doing human trafficking. So it doesn't happen in the suburbs too.
It's everywhere. Matter of fact, it was in South City, out of a pizza shop of all places last year or 2 years ago. So yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that it happens everywhere. I mean, and not that many people, I mean, they've heard of human trafficking, but they don't really know like the full scope of it. Yeah. They don't know how huge it is, and it's doubled over the last 2 years, and it's one of those things that's not really on the news that much, and a lot of people haven't really heard of it, but it's right in your face. It's the elephant in the room. Nobody
It
talks
doesn't
about.
seem like the press and the media cover it as much as they should. I mean, especially even with the drug problem we have too. It's always they're trying those other clickbait things and other stupid politics stuff, and they don't really pick on like good subjects like this to focus on. Yeah,
exactly. I will say, to add on to what Edgar was saying about the human trafficking in Colombia being such a horrible crime. Every 5 minutes somebody's going missing. The Colombian government stepped in last year and they funded a good portion of this movie, and that's how the Colombian filming was able to take place last year. So they donated a significant amount in order for this story to be told. And so the country of Colombia, they're waiting for this movie to be finished. They're over there rooting us on over here in America. Right. And it's going to be a very not only heart-wrenching and heart-touching, but we believe that this movie, we've got to get the word out there, is going to touch lives internationally, people all
change
over the
lives,
world.
yeah.
Yes, and bring that message of social awareness out.
Well, I want to kind of go into how did this originate? So the script, somebody
Yes.
gave you the story,
Yeah.
and then you said the government of Colombia gave money, so you presented it to somebody. How did this thing start snowballing? Like,
Well, first of all, as me create the company, Edmont International Production. And I'm an actor too. So, I was thinking about, I'm a karate champion here in the USA. And I started thinking about, I'm going to make a company and I'm going to make karate movies. But instead of that, when I went to Colombia and I started to see that pain, I find out how many people, how many families had that pain. Instead to make movies about karate and like not learning anything,
Right.
I started thinking about, how about, if I start to look at these stories, and there was, a story that it had something that karate had something, this human trafficking, and not only about human trafficking, about bullying. So I decided to do, the first thing I'm going to do is to fight human trafficking. So I had that story, and that story is a story that touched my heart, that made me cry every time I think and I see it. So I decide my company start with this campaign against human trafficking with this Fight of the Dragon. This movie is the story that is going to be save lives. So I start to put all my money, and I went to Colombia. I had everything. I had been working for 3 years, more or less. I went to Colombia, and I find out that the Colombian government is having a great campaign in Colombia against human trafficking. Why? Because, good people are dying, smart people, they are losing a lot of, talented people. So I went and I talked. Good thing they already knew about me as an actor.
Right.
So I went over there and they say, well, we are in a big campaign because we are losing a lot of people, athletes, beauty queens, smart people. They promise to go to other countries and give the best of the best. Instead, they make them to be sexual slaves. They make to work so hard. They cut their organs. So this movie is perfect. So they decide to give everything. They give everything, millions of dollars, but they didn't give me in cash. They put everything together for the movie. So right now, this movie, they had tons, and you are going to see, if you are able to be this Tuesday, the scenes when you see dancers, professional dancers, like the best of the best in Colombia. They put singer, they put band, they put everything, the best places, expensive places, because the Colombian government want this movie be like in the best of the best, be like known as a great movie. In that way, the people go and see it, and we can save lives. Right. Because if you don't see it, you are not going to learn anything. You are not going to know what it's about. And what we want to show is this case when promise good things, but at the end, right, is a thing that destroys lives.
So when it got greenlit, and then you were with this production, how did you decide to bring it to St. Louis, 1? And 2, how did you meet Mr. Daniels here, Miss Lindsay, and
well,
Mr. Mike? I don't remember Mike's last name. Mr. Mike over here.
Larkin.
Yeah. So what happened is, I went over there. The governor give everything. They sent me to the best places in Colombia. And after that, the governor say, whatever is in Colombia, we pay. You had to go back because the story finished here in St. Louis. So I came here looking for people, looking for the people who, my team here. Thanks God, I was blessed, and I found Tonya, I found Chris, and I found Michael. And now we had a great team, and that is what we are going to do. Finish this great movie, looking for the best of the best here, because this movie, we want to make it the best of the best for people go and see it.
From your perspective, so was it like an ad that you put out, and then so kind of talk about your perspective, and then we'll go through everybody's perspective, how they got on board.
Absolutely. Edgar had posted on Facebook an ad for auditioning. He had some roles for auditioning, and I had just gotten out of the Industry Network in LA last year, where I went up there and did some auditions with Mike. And I was, really excited, kind of fresh in the industry, pursuing my acting career. And so I saw this ad. I was already well connected in St. Louis, being having Images Agency as one of my agents. And so I had contacted Edgar. I think the first meeting I couldn't make due to schedule conflicts. And we talked over the phone, and he was introducing the storyline and everything with me. And so I had sent him some of my portfolio pictures and my resume. And then I think maybe a week later I drove up and we had lunch. So I met him. And then actually I think we met with Chris.
The same day with Chris.
I met Chris on some prior filming that we did last summer. So he was directing that as well, which was pretty awesome. I had no idea we would reconnect and be able to work together again, but I remember saying, man, I hope we get to work together one day in the future. So it was just kind of neat how that all worked out. So Chris and Edgar and I met up at a Mexican restaurant here in St. Louis one night to talk about the American side of the story.
Yes.
And kind of, that was our first meet and greet, and it was just awesome. And from there, we just continued to have Zoom calls, and then it kind of grew. I reached out to Mike and several of my other connections that I'd gone to industry with, and kind of put my fillers out. Hey, we're doing this movie. We need actors, and Mike was really one of the first ones that responded, that was interested. Yeah. And so lucky for him, he landed, a really good role in the movie. So good job for, being proactive. So that's how Mike came aboard, but that's, and it just kind of went from there. So I ended up landing a role in the movie as well, which we haven't filmed yet, but Edgar asked me to help produce, and this is my first movie that I'm producing. So it's been a wild ride, and it's been a very fun experience. And I've learned a lot from Edgar and Chris through this journey, and I'm just very humbled, very just honored to be a part of it.
And Chris, your background, obviously you've done films before. Talk about when he approached you with this kind of your perspective.
So I think it was word of mouth, basically. I think somebody else was trying to get in on it, and they talked to me like, Chris, there's a project, Human Trafficking is international. You might want to check this out. So I'm like, okay, well, let me see what's going on. Let me see if it's St. Louis here. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's needed. And that was just it. One talk, we had a conversation, the heart of the story was shared, from beginning to end. So I saw where it was going. And I'm like, I'm sold. It'd be a great opportunity, even for St. Louis. Because, everybody in the industry, and they always talk about the tax credit. What's coming? Is it coming? Right. Is it coming? And by my in hopes of that, and in progress of that getting there, people like HBO is always here. They come in and they leave quickly. They don't. They under the radar. But I started thinking about just imagine the stuff that we can do here with our own people.
Well, there's so many great locations.
So many great locations. So many opportunities. And like with this particular film, the scale of it on some of these shots, it gives a lot of people who've been trying to get in movies, trying to get an opportunity to get those opportunities.
All right.
I mean, we got to reenact karate championships.
Wow.
So we got it's a larger scale. That we're building to for some of these scenes, like getting the American Center and getting the extras and getting the people who actually know karate to reenact some. I mean, it's potentially can be a pretty on a pretty large scale.
Right.
But because of the content of it, we're finding it really easy to get the people on board because they want to make sure that they want to be a part of the fight, basically.
Right. There's a lot of talented people. Obviously, you saw that at the casting call. We all witnessed it. I want Mike to jump in here because Mike's been quiet for a second.
Yeah,
so Mike, just talk about how you got involved and kind of how you with the character you're playing.
Oh, with character?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Tanya's story. You know, we went to Industry Network a year ago, and I've been trying to pursue acting the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I met Chris before with one of his projects. So it's very similar to Tanya's story. So then she found out about this role, and then she contacted me for a Zoom meeting. And then I went on a Zoom meeting, and I talked to everybody. And then luckily Edgar was interested. And due to the fact that I'm a police officer, and I have a background in martial arts, so it kind of all it flowed together. So it just completely worked. But it was like fate for all of us.
So
you know,
for the audience out there, the movie is how much percentage is going to be shot in Colombia, and how much percentage would you say is shot in St. Louis?
So
I mean, is that possible to figure out?
Well, I mean, because as we're building this, we understand that there's going to be the possibility of needing to do some rewrites as far as reshoots in Colombia.
Gotcha.
You know, because they had a portion of it there, but now we're building the story correctly now,
okay,
which may lead to having to go back and revisit some of those. But I mean, at first it was like, oh, it's 85% done.
Yes.
But then when we got a chance to start looking at everything, it's like,
right,
it's a lot more to this story than what we have so far. So
yeah, and one of the things that the people need to know is that this is not going to be a Colombian movie. This is an international movie, mostly American movie. So, and that is why we had to redo it with a director, one American director, because whatever we did in Colombia, it was with a Colombian director. Why I did that? Because a Colombian knows about his culture, the Colombian culture. If I take Chris to Colombia and do a Colombian movie, it's not going to be he's a great director.
It definitely needs to be true to the artistic area.
Exactly, exactly.
Is that difficult with that language barrier though? I mean, obviously, you know, with Spanish, and then, you know, are you trying to make it international? Are you trying to do both languages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what Chris had to decide. You know, I don't know how we are going to do, because whatever is in Colombia, they are going to speak Spanish. So we are going to try to do a translation. I don't know if
if it's heavier on the Colombian side is already shot, then it'd probably be a lot of subtitles or voiceovers. But depending on how we go, because I mean, I don't, you know, nobody likes going to a film and just sitting there reading the entire time.
Unless it's Tarantino. I mean, if it's Tarantino,
I mean, I think Passion of the Christ is one. Passion of the Christ is another. And I didn't mind reading all the way through. But yeah, those are some of the questions that we'll answer towards we get there. So like I said, I think that the scale of it on this side is going to grow to the point where it won't be as heavy on that side. We'll keep a lot of the content from over there, but you know, so it might lead to doing some voiceovers and stuff like that, and make it easier for the American side.
You guys are already with St. Louis in production right now. Obviously, you filmed last month of a couple scenes, I believe, with one of the actresses. You were just talking about there's some scenes you got to remake, some karate scenes. Just kind of talk about like some of the scenes you're looking for people, maybe looking for locations. What kind of stuff are you guys looking for?
Yeah, so we are definitely in search of karate, you know, students of the arts, you know, from all ages, you know, from the children to the adults. We'll be doing another casting call soon, just so we can go heavy on all of the different characters, all of the different, you know, as the story prolongs. Of course, you know, you gotta have the good guys, the bad guys. You gotta have you can't have a karate master without a school of students. Right. So, you know, it's a lot, but we're definitely excited. And like I said, the casting call will be announced really, really soon. And we're hoping to jump right in this summer. So
awesome.
I will say that the casting call that you hosted was amazing. And we did have some amazing talent that came through. Yeah. So we had several young kids that came through that really showed off their karate skills, and so we'll be able to use about 3 of them. We've already reached out, a couple of them as extras, and then one in particular, he will be in one of the roles in the film. But like as Chris said, having another one is just even the better to bring in more talent.
Right.
Yes. So
make it believable. we're gonna need a lot of karate.
Exactly. We
A lot
did
of
have
karate
Jade
students.
Stoner that we used from the casting call.
Yeah, her boyfriend, her husband, he's does training. Yeah, he did the training for us at the studio last weekend.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so
cool.
so maybe she knew some.
Yeah.
Probably had some background on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she came in and she played, one of the roles too for the last filming that we did.
Yeah, but we are very excited. We are looking this summertime like we are going to concentrate only, like myself, only on this movie to finish it, to have all the people, because we plan in next year to have a special premiere in Colombia at the Congress of Colombia. Why? Because the government want to show that movie at the Congress. That is how important it is for Colombia, and not only for Colombia, for Latin America, because this is something that is going to be, like before I said, life of very young people in Colombia.
Yeah. What's the goal once it's complete? Are you going to do the festivals or try to get it on the streaming platforms? I mean, what's
So the goal, of course, the festivals.
Yeah.
That's always a good place to start.
Right.
But because of the connections, like even in the South American connections, there's a channel possibly for like the larger streaming sites without naming some of them.
Yeah, right.
But of course, we wait till the project is done, and then we channel that and see it. If anything, it'd be like, we'll definitely have the opportunity for like the lower end streaming channels like Tubi, Roku.
Well, it seems like the subject matter, something like Hollywood would, the Oscars and stuff, the Academy would, something that would be that they would, get invested in. You see all those films that come every year.
That's the sole reason for doing the film festivals. Because the goal is for us to make sure that this gets in the film festivals that are eligible for the Oscars.
Right.
Because not all film festivals make it to the Oscars, but they have their list that if you make it, if you do good here, then you're eligible to be submitted for an Oscar.
Right.
So we're gonna be channeling that because the story is amazing. So we're definitely gonna be focusing on all avenues to make this thing get what it needs to get.
Yeah, story's a lot bigger than us,
Yeah, the story is
thing.
amazing too, and also the message, because the message of this movie is not only that human trafficking is happening in one country, it's around the world, and that is the message, and not only about the world, but who is going to be suffering. Any kind of people, and that is why we are going to, our director, he's going to put like people from different races, different nationalities. In that way, the message.
We'll see it in all different aspects of it.
Right.
During one of the moments where it's like a montage to show you the different layers of human trafficking and the different places it happens.
Exactly.
Even into like you think in Colombia, but the house next door. That aspect, and also with this film, human trafficking is a huge part of it, but there's other layers to the tragedy that this child goes through.
Right.
Like you said about the bullying, like this, it's a heavy bullying moment. So it's a lot of different levels to it. Dealing with mental, all of this stuff leads to some type of mental issue. That we have to, that this film addresses too. So when people are going through tragedy, this is also a good film outside of the human trafficking. But this is also a good film. Like if you're going through tragedy, if you've already been through some stuff that's really hard, you can make it. And that's what this film is more so about.
I'm guessing with the karate, they uses the karate to help them cope with it. Is that what's
the karate is like that tool that helped them get through it as a child, and it led to it also snowballed into the freedom that was found later. So yeah.
I don't want to give any spoilers away.
You see, I tried. You see, I caught myself.
Yeah.
I caught myself.
I will add on back to talking about getting the movie out there and Hollywood, possibly seeing it. We have had Michael Henderson with Sweet Media Productions alongside with Mary Kay Sheets, St. Louis Filmworks here in St. Louis. They, at the beginning of our project back in August, September timeframe, they kind of stepped in and really gave us a lot of guidance, a lot of advice. Yeah, so the movie has already been seen by a Hollywood production company. So it is all about, also having those connections, So we're very grateful for those two. for helping us at the beginning and giving us all their expertise in the industry. We appreciate you guys if you're out there listening, and just everyone else that's been a part of this so far.
Well, it must be like a different project for a lot of you guys because I think you hit base on it's like you're almost doing a service for somebody. You're not really doing it for your own personal gain. This is more of like a service to help bring awareness to what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the company is not looking for being rich or anything. It's looking mostly for complete its mission. Save life. Trying to help many people. And me as a Colombian, I need to help life of Colombian people, all my people, but also American, because right now I have like two mother and father. I don't know which one is mother and father, but Colombia is one of my countries and USA is my other country, and I love and I don't want anything happen to the Colombian people or the American people. And that is what this company is working on. It's not about money, it's about save human life.
And I'm gonna put you guys' websites here. So just you got a crew of people that just kind of all these different people helping you. So kind of these are people from back in Colombia.
Yeah, and you can see over there we have the best actresses, dancers, models. We can all kind of the best people over there,
And you can scroll back down a little bit. Let's go to the very top. And then let's talk about real quick. Yeah, of course. We've got Edgar star.
Good balancer.
Good balance.
Miss Claudia here.
That's Claudia.
Yeah.
Miss Claudia, Colombian politician.
Yes.
We had the honor of getting to meet her, and back in December she flew in to visit Edgar. And Mike, I'm not for sure if you were there that day, but Chris and I
met her, yeah.
Did you meet her?
Yeah, I met her over at Edgar's house. Yeah, she was great.
He was dancing. He was dancing.
She made me dance with her, and it was incredibly embarrassing.
I think I remember that.
But it was great.
So Claudia, she's a Colombian politician. She went to bat for the story and for Edgar and the production company. She went to the governor and to the the people, the government there, and said, we've got to get this story out. She was the leader of the campaign there. So then, because of her, we got the millions of dollars to make this movie. So she's out there, still rooting us on, waiting for us to finish it.
She's got a strong personality. She's one of those people walk into a room and everybody watches.
Yes.
She's great.
Yeah.
And then you guys.
She advocates for women's rights, and she, amazing politician.
So, do you do the director of photography too, or who's the director of photography? Because
Vidal.
Okay.
Vidal Phillips. He's somebody with the team focus side. Me and him work hand in hand on a lot of different projects. He'll be working side by side with me and with the crew to pull this off. Yes, sir.
Well, what I was impressed with the first 6 minutes we watched is just the visual telling of with the chain and the way you guys shot it, the time lapses to show time, and just the way you guys shot it. So I can tell you're a very great visual director.
Thank you.
By those
very impressive.
Just make sure there's a level of mystery to it when you're coming in and you're seeing it. Make you want to know, okay, what is this?
What's going on?
And why do I feel this way right now?
Right. Well, people's attention span nowadays, you got to catch them in the first couple minutes.
If you don't catch them, it's like Law and Order. If I sit there and I watch the first 5 minutes of Law and Order, I have to watch the rest.
I just like the music at the beginning.
Right. So my thing is, you got to catch the person in the first 5 minutes. Right. If you don't catch them in the first 5 minutes, they have already decided that they're about to go to sleep. Or they're about to change the channel.
Yes.
And so that's
you had that attention to detail too about the little things. That's what's really impressive about that. It's the little things that you wouldn't think of that catch your interest.
Yeah.
And then you guys are here today, obviously, but you said Tuesday there's a big event this Tuesday.
Yes. We're definitely excited. So me, myself personally, I've been making sure that I stay under the radar. Like I do stuff, build the craft, build my, do stuff, but I've been doing it for years under the radar. So this Tuesday, we're actually doing something and putting it out there. All of the different projects the Team Focus is working on, along with Edmont, and basically showcasing them all. You know, we have everything from like this is a feature film. We have a TV series. We have a short film series that's called We Are STL. And it's going to showcase a lot of different companies who people don't really know about, but we're doing like short documentary series for them. So yeah, it's about eight different projects that we're going to be showcasing to let everybody know that Edmont is here, Team Focus is here, Storytellers is here, K4 Studios is here, and as they get ready to officially say Missouri has that tax credit, we're putting a stamp on the productions companies here to say, yeah, but we're here and we're ready. So
this event, people can donate. I just saw the donation button here, right?
This is just an online fundraiser that I created.
Okay.
And, I know you put stuff online and people are always leery.
Yeah. But at the event, there will be opportunities to give, to each individual project or to give as a whole. Like, you know what? We want to invest in all of this.
Yeah.
So we're all looking for angel investors or people who just want to get on the executive producer side. So, we're bringing in other people who work in Hollywood and different things like that and giving them an opportunity to further be a part of what we're trying to do in St. Louis. Because my goal is, for years, St. Louis has been forced to watch films from either LA or Atlanta or Chicago, but it's time for the world to see what's coming out of St. Louis.
Well, I mean, they'll make a movie about the Ozarks, but they don't shoot it.
But they're not shooting it. So our goal is to finally say, okay, we looked at y'all enough. So now it's time for St. Louis to show y'all who we are.
Right.
And that's what that's the movies that have been made right now. So
so for what's the money is going towards this part, the campaign, or is it made to finish the film?
So the money that comes in on one side of it, like I said, it'd be used to finish the film.
Okay.
It'd be like filming costs. That's why I say executive producers and stuff like that. But we also have I also have a nonprofit called Stay Focused.
All right.
And that Stay Focused is what we use. The funds that go into that is what we use with the kids. We're teaching them arts. We're teaching them a whole bunch of different aspects, but then we're also making sure that they're aware of all of these things, what to look for in human trafficking, what to look for in this and this, So the funds will be used, one, to finish up the projects that they want to, help put some money towards.
Operational expenses.
But then it's also used to, further connect and make sure because like this film, Fire of a Dragon, when it's done, there will be a campaign that's connected to it. That this film will also have an opportunity to go to different places, talk about human trafficking, show the film, and then so it's a whole different level outside of just streaming and trying to make some.
Will there be a number or a site where people can go on and say if somebody watches this film and they're having that experiencing human trafficking that they'd be able to?
Yeah, and that's also a goal, because our goal is to make sure that by the end of this, we're going to partner with the organizations that's been doing this for years.
Right.
Those partnerships will have to be made to make sure that we're effective. We're not trying to create another one when somebody's already actively freeing women or freeing children. Right. We're going to be partnering with them and that campaign that comes when this film is done to actually do some stuff. So.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, kind of like just go around and just talk about your background and like what other projects you have if people want to get.
Well, actually, I don't have any other project. I've mostly just done a lot of commercials. I haven't really done a lot of.
Is this your first feature?
Yes, this will be my first movie. I did a Unsolved Mysteries reboot. I did commercials, for Maryville and things like that, different hardware stores. But this is my first feature film.
The Unsolved Mysteries, is that what you just act like? How's that work?
Yeah, it's like the reboot. Do you remember the reboot?
I do remember the reboot.
Mysteries?
So a lot of times they're just acting out, but they're not really having dialogue scenes, kind of like stuff like that.
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's a lot of reenactment. So it was fun though. But I used to watch that show as a kid, and the music used to freak me out because that Stack guy's voice was so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was scary. But yeah, that's first feature film. So super excited.
What type of music do you guys have? You have local artists here, or what type of music do you guys?
So it'll be a mix between some local artists. But then making sure we find some composers for those specials with the stuff that's in Columbia, that's true to Columbia.
Right.
It's like me trying to or have somebody here trying to recreate what we think is authentic, as opposed to making sure.
Have you went to Columbia to do research personally, either of you? Have you guys?
I have not yet.
Not
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. So right now I'm focusing heavier on the stuff on this side. So once we
Right.
get before we get to that part of it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely make sure, and we'll be partnering with the director who did it before, just to make sure that it lines up and that he, his artistic view is still captured, considering he did the rest. But make sure it lines up with what we're really trying to do. So,
Well, the company wants the Colombian part be made by the Colombian director, because he knows the culture. Even myself, I don't know much about Colombia anymore because I have been living here for many years. So, I'm not going to bring a Colombian director to St. Louis, Missouri, who doesn't know anything about St. Louis, Missouri. So everybody is going to be, be perfect in whatever they are doing. So. But that is why we had this great director.
Like Chris said, we probably more than likely will be going back to Colombia this year to do some reshoots. So telling everybody now, get your passports ready because we're going to Colombia. Excited.
Now, would you think you'll be producing another film after this? Is this a one-time deal for you, or you think
it's very possible? Yeah. Edgar has offered me the position of executive producer for the USA for Edmont International Productions.
Right.
So this is my very first, feature film, my first, really big job in the industry. So, I'm with Edgar for the long haul. We're gonna get through the Fire of the Dragon, and as long as my family and friends are, in my schedule, and everything continues to allow me to be a part of Edmont International Productions, and I would be honored to continue to work for Edgar and the company. Edgar has more stories and more movies ready to go. So after the Fire of the Dragon next year, we'll probably start working on the next one.
Yeah, and I had been talking to Colombian people, the Colombian government, and they offer me anytime I had a story like this story, a story that is going to teach something, save life, give us something to learn. They are going to support me with everything, with the money, with places, with everything. So it's going to continue for me. It's going to, after this movie, we are going to see what movie is next. And they say they are going to open the arm for me every time I bring any stories that is going to help not only the Colombian people, but people around the world. Because you know what I say, people is people. We have to love each other. It doesn't matter if that person is from Europe or from South America or from USA. All we are people, and all we had feelings, and we had to help each other.
Right, definitely.
Was this your first feature that you worked on?
So I have a couple of them. I have one major one. That's where I met Mike with called History.
Okay.
And like literally we're in talks with some major studios to bring it out. So like we're literally at the point where it's like, okay, I know you guys like it. We've been through all of it. We've been through a lot of stuff.
Right.
Just sign the papers. And so that process for that one, the scope of it is so large. Even some of the people who we have letter of intents from to be a part of it is amazing. But yeah, so no, this is like the second or the third.
Right.
But even after this, there's so many more to come. So
right. Well, just going from shorts to features, it's like just the character development. Even you said you've never done acting in film.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so now you got to play a character, and you have to think where this character's
character
going.
arcs. Yeah, the character arcs.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Shorts are simple. You get straight to the point.
Yeah.
But you gotta act. You gotta make sure the audience is emotionally connected to multiple people. You're doing a feature for the show.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's gotta. If it ain't a roller coaster, nobody likes the ride that just does like this. No, the roller coasters are important. So yeah, we're definitely excited.
Well, the last few minutes, I want to talk because we did talk about sex trafficking at the beginning, and then I was reading some kind of stats and about it. So kind of let's each in their own words talk about like just what tell the audience out there about sex trafficking and some of the myths, some of the facts.
Myths and facts.
The cop go first.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've talked to several people that have been, human trafficked. I used to work at a job where primarily most of the women there at the battered women's shelter were human trafficked, and I didn't really know a lot about it at the time. And they would tell me stories, and I guess as far as like a myth goes, like we were saying, I mean, it's not just sex; it's people's organs. I mean, it's everything. It's in the stories everybody's story is different. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just these people tell you their life stories and how it happened to them, and everybody's different. But the truth is that it's right in front of your face, and all these people, the people kept coming week after week after week, and they're all victims of human trafficking.
How does it happen to somebody though? Like, I mean, is it just mind games? I mean, how did somebody fall into it? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of mind games. There's a lot of people that thought they had friends, but these friends weren't friends.
Right.
It's just a lot of stuff like that. It's promises that are fake. And they seem legit, and then once you get there, you realize it's too late. It's just a lot of that kind of stuff.
Some people are like, well, why can't they just walk out of it? Like, it's not that easy to escape.
No. Yeah. I mean, once you're in it, you're in it. You could be trapped.
It's almost like that emotional ties.
It's emotional
once
drugs.
You're emotionally hooked to somebody or connected to somebody, it's kind of hard to break it. And that's where they win.
It's a drug.
That's where most of the predators win.
Right.
That emotional connection.
Yeah, and some of them get addicted to drugs on purpose. They addict them. They inject drugs into them on purpose. So they become addict, and they're like, well, if you want to get your drug habit, you're gonna have to do this. And then people will do anything for their hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
one more thing that I would like to add is that human trafficking is not only happening to beautiful people; it happens to everybody. Would be it's not only for men; it's for everybody. Tall, short, beautiful, ugly,
ages.
All the ages. That is the truth. This is what they.
That's what I
really
should have said for the myth and the reality. Everybody thinks of these beautiful women.
No.
It's not. It's everybody. It's boys, girls, and
it's the beautiful woman, beautiful person, but it's also that child just sitting on the stoop, waiting on mom to come home, or outside playing with the dog.
Right.
And I mean, and it's not nice an emotional connection. They just got took, and got forced into it. It's so many different sets.
I think it's so scary. People don't even want to really think about it.
Yeah, I think that's
parents
why we
don't want to think
about
it. I don't want to think about my poor little kid just being outside and that happens. People don't want to think like that. It's
are
too
there
hard.
ways to, if I was to people to see, catch people there in trafficking? Like, I mean, are there cues and things, red flags of being somebody just walking down the street would be able to see?
There are some hand gestures, but the problem is with the hand gestures, everybody doesn't know them.
Oh.
So I think it's like one where if somebody like bumps you or you looking at somebody, they make eye contact with you, and I think it's either 3 fingers together and they do like a sign, that's them saying for help. But if the victim doesn't know it and the person seeing it doesn't know it, then it's but they do have some signs. I don't it's something we should look into.
Right.
But there are signals that everybody should know. But they do have some that's like, without the person getting, just blastering it out and saying, hey, this is not my dad. Hey, this is not this. Help me.
Right.
They'll have hand signals for that.
And we may have something like that at the very end of the movie about, people that are victims and need somewhere to reach out. We may have like a scroll down of showing those signals or something.
But I would definitely suggest that everybody do some research and learn what those are. Because you can be a kid at your child's school. Your kids to know the signs and know what to do, so they can either help. Maybe they friends. It's something that we should all know and look into.
Yeah, got to have difficult conversations. Some people don't want to have them. But you have to.
Right, and then I guess sometimes people, they don't want to get caught either. I mean, found because if they're afraid what's going to happen to them,
right?
Their family or whatever.
Yeah, there's all that too.
Yeah. Wow. A lot to take in. Well, thank you guys so much. Did we hit everything we wanted to talk about today? Anything else going on? I will make sure we give you guys the spotlight here.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, if you're not doing anything Tuesday, Tuesday night, doors open at 6. We have a lot of different things coming. A lot of opportunities to be a part. Is at the Florissant Civic Center, 1 James J. Egan Boulevard, a drive, I think it is.
There you go.
And please come out, come and see what's going on. Not just with this film, but with a lot of films. We also got another film called Missing in STL, and it deals with the kids that are being kidnapped and in that aspect. So it's definitely an event that you guys do not want to miss. So
we'll work on comedy soon.
You guys are doing such great things. I'm making poop and fart jokes with my comedy troupe over
No,
here.
we're doing- no,
And
there
you
is
guys are
comedies.
changing the world. I feel like
Right, no, look. So, and it's not just all downer stuff. Like
No,
we
no,
have.
I don't think it's downer stuff. I think it's
Well, we have.
stuff.
We joke around, too.
We do have some comedies coming. We have a sketch comedy show coming.
Okay.
But then then we have the typical gangster stuff. Everybody want a power right now. So
I think
So,
I posted
yeah.
something with a little clip of what Chris.
oh yeah, I
posted.
think there is
on
a
your
clip.
on your Facebook
I think
page.
there's a clip that
Yeah, on this
showcases.
one here.
Oh, this one
Only
here?
on this one, yeah.
Okay.
The
I
trafficking.
think there is a clip that show
This one
that one
here.
there that showcases a lot of different
Oh, okay.
a little montage of the stuff to be coming. So
That's gonna. We'll try to play. See what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna. It might not play the audio.
No worries. But yeah, so
That's
that event, like 8 to 9 different projects from documentaries to short films. I mean, you guys don't want to miss it. So
And also, we are going to have real Colombian food. So,
yeah.
Oh, really?
yes.
Oh, see, now you just sold me.
So,
So
Definitely.
yeah,
Authentic.
authentic
Yeah.
Colombian food, because one of the ladies who just opened a Colombian restaurant, the first one here in St. Louis, Missouri, she's joined to our campaign because she knows how difficult it is, this problem, this crime in Colombia. So she's going to be giving some Colombian food over there.
yeah, so it's gonna be an exciting evening.
Yes.
Don't want to miss it.
Yes.
And I did want to say thank you, Matt,
Oh, no problem.
with Artists United Network, especially for putting on the awesome casting event.
Definitely.
And then we got to meet you and for us to be a part of your show. Thank you for coming in behind us, supporting us, and helping us get the word out.
Yeah, I've been excited to have you guys on. So I'm on hiatus right now. So people see me right now. I just reached out to him. I wanted to get an interview with him. He told me he's on hiatus. This was because we scheduled this months ago
We
or
did.
whatever.
We
So
did.
that's what's going on. But
And you are invited, specially invited to the Colombian premiere at the Congress of Colombia.
You are invited to
welcoming
the
you to come to
Colombian
Colombia. That's what
premiere.
he's saying.
oh, if I get a ticket to go to Colombia,
If you and
Yeah.
Charmaine want to come to the premiere,
I think they're saying Edmont's going to pay for it.
oh, well,
I don't know.
I mean,
If we had the money,
Well,
we pay for it.
I definitely like any help you guys need, locations, people.
Thank you.
Let me know. Like I said, I've done a lot of these shows. I've built this
Thank
network. I have a
you.
lot of connections with.
Yeah, this is
great
great.
people. Yeah,
Awesome.
so-
This is a great
So
setup.
whatever I
down
can do
there.
to help you guys and help the cause, that's
thank
what I
you
do.
so
Yeah,
much.
definitely.
We
Thank
really
you very
appreciate
much.
that.
So-
Really do.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching
Thank
the Daily
you.
Dirt with Dustin Diggs. We will see you again later.
see you guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you
right.
very
Oh,
much. I
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate it.
Awesome.
But we
that-
hit everything
that
you
was
guys
an
wanted to hit.
Yes,
I
sir.
believe
Okay,
so. Yeah,
okay.
that covered
I tried to make from the beginning, how it started and kind of.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So
It was
Asked some
perfect.
great questions.
Oh,
Yeah, thank
Super
you very
crisp
much.
sound too.
Yes.
I recognized my own voice for a second.
Yeah.
Do I sound that clear? That was cool, man.
Yeah, you sounded good. You sounded good. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
I'm about to dig. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. Dig.